Mary Helen Dara, Taylor Automotive Family, Women in the Driver's Seat. And today we are speaking with Executive Director for Read for Literacy, who has been here for over 3 decades, encouraging our community to read and the importance of doing so. Let's go inside and talk with this amazing woman. Hello, we are in the main library in downtown Toledo with the Executive Director of Read for Literacy, Diana Bush. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Could you please tell us a bit of history about Read for Literacy?
Sure, Read for Literacy has been around since 1986. We are actually the result of a merger of the Toledo Area Literacy Council, which was started by Church Women United in the 70s, and then the Junior League's Project Read, which was started in 1984. In 1986, they decided that they kind of had the same goal in mind, kept part of each name, and Read for Literacy was founded.
Ah, it's wonderful. How long have you been with the organization, and what was the deciding factor of getting you behind the wheel, so to speak, of this organization?
So I've been with the organization for 34 years. I started way back when the organization didn't even have any full-time staff members. As the coordinator of adult literacy, matching adult students with their volunteers. As the agency grew, I had the opportunity to grow, and I was instrumental in starting creating young readers in Toledo Public Schools. Most recently, we merged with Claire's Day, and I got to take that over. So I've been able to hold every job in the organization.
It's phenomenal. What are a few of the most challenging as well as rewarding aspects of what you do?
So I think one of the most challenging things about Read for Literacy is that for adults to admit that they have a literacy problem and come to us, it's almost as if they're admitting a weakness. We have been for years trying to turn that kind of narrative around so you don't have to really admit you have a weakness, but just that you want to be stronger at literacy. And so I think when you see the students come here and they finish reading their first book, or they're able to read their mail by themselves, where 6 months ago they were bringing you their mail to read, and then also just the hard work, because at Read for Literacy, we really feel like reading's a skill, and you have to practice at it, just like I would have to practice if I wanted to learn to play the piano. And it can be frustrating, but for our adult students who keep coming back and really just gaining those skills, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever seen.
We know that the organization provides so many opportunities for exploration and learning, but what are a few of your most ones that you just are personally proud of?
So outside of the adult literacy program, which I think because I started there really owns my heart, we do a lot of work in Central City Toledo Public School systems with kindergartners and first graders. So to see kids who don't feel successful in a classroom because they lack early literacy skills, kind of gain those throughout the year by our volunteers working with them, is very exciting. And the other part I'm very proud of is the CARE Awards that happened at Claire's Day. So any teacher in Northwest Ohio is eligible to nominate their most improved reader, not their best reader. So it's their most improved reader who has struggled through the year, had different interventions. They can come to Claire's Day, we give them an award, and they also get to choose a book by one of our visiting authors or illustrators and have it autographed. This past year, we did just under 1,300 CARE Awards between Claire's Day in Toledo and Claire's Day in Maumee.
That's amazing. How can members of the community get involved with Read for Literacy?
So the great news is we have tons of volunteer opportunities. You can call our office. We have opportunities on a weekly basis, monthly basis. We oftentimes do some short-term programming where we're looking for volunteers for 1 hour a week for 6 weeks. I cannot think a more valuable, rewarding thing to do than Read for Literacy.
Right. And do you have any recommendations for how to encourage a child to pick up a book?
So there's lots of really exciting ways to have a child pick up a book, and it doesn't always have to be just picking up a book. So we've learned throughout the years, our kids that we work with love to do echo reading. So where you would read a sentence and then have the child repeat, so they think they're reading and they're getting the flow of it, but they're not necessarily reading. We play a ton of hangman with the students that we work with, and they love that a lot. We use magnetic letters and cookie sheets, so we can practice rhyming words. You put AT on the cookie sheet and change out that first word, and then you can take all of those skills and translate them into a book.
Great creative ideas. And finally, would you encourage others to get on board of this kind of work that you have done for 34 years?
Absolutely. I mean, what is more rewarding than really giving back to your community? I have led a very, very fortunate life. my children have led very fortunate lives. And so to be able to go out into the community and help those who maybe aren't as fortunate, who weren't as prepared for school as my children or your children were as prepared for school, there's nothing better.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your passion and enthusiasm, and please keep on doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, Diana, for sharing your love of reading and opening the doors of reading to all in our community. Can't wait to get in the driver's seat and see who's next.